Hi, I am Emma Morrison and welcome to my channel. In this video today, I will be giving you a step-by-step tutorial on how you can install and configure your SQL server just like how you'd be doing it in your organization. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. So for this video, we're going to be using a trial version of SQL Server. You can get this from the Microsoft's website. I'll leave a link to this in the description below. So I'm going to select try now and download a trial copy of SQL Server 2022. So complete the registration form if you're doing the trial version. So in my case, I'm going to be using a trial version, so I'm going to complete the form and download. So you're going to download the 64-bit edition. So we're going to do a custom installation. Select install. This may take a little while to download, so I'm going to pause the video here and resume once it's completed. So once the installation is completed, you should get a pop-up like this. Then select installation. Then select new standalone installation. Accept the license terms and privacy statement. Select next. Select next. Select next. Unless you have an Azure account, and check the Azure extension for SQL Server. So just want the database engine only. Select next. We're going to keep the default instance as MS SQL Server. Select next. So we want to enable the SQL Server agent and set it to automatic. This will automatically start up when the SQL Server starts, or if it's shut down and you bring up the server, then it will be automatically started. Select next. You can enable mixed mode, which is recommended. So we're going to enable mixed mode authentication at the current user, which is the user that is created on this Windows server. Select your database directories. These are the locations where your database file will be placed. You don't want your database files under the C drive, so you're going to change the directory. So let's start with the log directory. So because this is just a test VM, I only have the C drive, but I created a D, H, and L folder to simulate what you do in a production server. So the L folder will be acting as my L drive for my logs. So I'm going to select that, select OK. Then I'm going to select my backup directory. This is the directory where my backups will be placed when I do a backup on the server. And select the directory. Select the database directory as well. So it's in the D directory and data. They also want to change your temp DB files. So we're going to remove this, select add. And I'm going to place it in H under data. So we're going to keep the default settings for now. The maximum degree of parallelism is fine. And we want to cap the SQL Server memory so it doesn't reuse all the resources on the server. So because it's a virtual machine and I don't have enough resources, I'm going to be setting it to just around 3 gigs. But ideally, you want to give SQL Server as much memory as possible so it performs to its best of its abilities. In the event we have other applications running on the machine and may need memory, then you can use like 80% of the memory for SQL Server, while the other 20% is allocated for other processes. Select next to continue. Click to accept recommended memory configuration. Select next. Select install. Now in order to connect to your SQL Server, you're going to need a management tool. So we're going to install SQL Server Management Tools. So from the same menu, select Install SQL Server. So select this link to download Management Studio 18. Once the download is complete, select Open. Accept, yes. So in order to complete, the server needs to be restarted, so select Restart. So once the server is restarted, you can resume the installation of SQL Server Management Studio. And by default, SQL Server Management Studio comes with Azure Data Studio. So the installation is now complete, so next connect to our server. So we're going to bring up SQL Server Management Studio so you can search for it by typing SMS. So I'm going to be using the Windows authentication, select connect, expand databases, and these are our system databases. So let's create a database, right click on databases, select new database, and then specify your database name. So I'm going to say demo and select OK. So if you want a crash course on SQL Server, I'm going to be leaving a link to a video where I did a full tutorial for beginners in the description below, so you can check that out. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.